Hello and welcome to another video on how to become a business consultant freelancer. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is just to make a quick recap of the entire course, which is split in 4 sections, and to understand and to talk about out loud more the course idea behind that models. So the first model where we talk about is how to getting started building a consulting freelancer career. So here we focus is, so what are the tasks that a consultant does? Conduct research, analyze data, and then present the result, as well as the type of projects that a consultant can work, whether it's in the strategic, where here we're going to implement is what will be the possible roadmap to help this business with a particular issue or problem, and then the improvement, where here we identify as a particular business operations and we provide some suggestions to do that. And the implementation is now to put in practice is whether you do the strategic and the improvement on the project. And then I look at the consulting success and how consulting success looks like. So well, that you have is cash flow, okay, flexibility, and security, because you have now multiple sources of income, flexibility in terms of that now you can set your time and when you can work regardless your location, so you are location independent, as well as the cash flow, where here you are receiving from multiple sources of income. And remember that the ultimate goal or the way of how you can be the best as a consultant is, before crafting an offer, find a niche that is already on demand and that you have interest in, and then solely focus on over delivery on value. Because at the end of the day, the client is ultimately paying for the value you provide, aka if you can solve their problems, and focus on over delivery on that, because at the end of the day no one is obligated to hire you, and it is your job and your job alone to hone into that specific niche and develop a rockstar solid offer backed by your reputation. And then now I look at the consulting tips that allow you to move on as a business consultant, which is find a way to get into the zone, eliminate distractions, prioritize things, use our Pomodoro techniques to focus on that topic, and ultimately don't forget to take breaks, right? And when it comes to decision making, which is something that even though I am doing that, use the Eisenhower matrix. So things that are important and urgent, do that today. Things that are not important but they are urgent, delegate. And things that are important but not urgent, schedule, right? And ultimately, things that are not important or urgent, don't even think about it. So with this decision making matrix, okay, from the Eisenhower matrix, then I look at this section 2, which is, so once you know the fundamentals, right? Once you know what are the things that you need to get started building a freelance consulting career, okay? Then I look at how to get started as a freelance consultant. Meaning, in this case, first identify your strengths and weakness, which is what are the things that you excel, that you have interest, you have experience. So in my case, as a software Node.js developer, using Vue 2 and Vue 3, Nox 2 and Nox 3, as well as other complementary technology that serves as a full stack development. Okay, so that's the whole idea of this. Uh, and identify my weakness, which is communication skills, which is something that I'm doing right now, as well as the data visualization, and then capitalize on your strengths. Okay, and then identify is the type of work you can do. So whether it's a specialized servers or one-on-one consultation or training and teaching. Okay, again, this might be your three fronts where you can issue or deliver a product. Okay, so whether it's a one-on-one consultation, a specialized service which requires you to do that thing, and or ultimately is the uh, the training and teaching, right? So with that, uh, in my case, I'm going to focus on the specialized service. I just want to build some portfolio here before going into creating a training and teaching course for that. Okay, and after that, then I look at, okay, so once you know, you identify your strength and weakness, the type of work that you can offer, as well as uh, that protect your business at all costs. Okay, well, then is where I look at choosing a niche that is already on demand. And a niche is a group of people that they have a large problem to solve. Number one, they actively looking for a solution. They have people that are willing to pay for the solution, and ultimately, it must have something that you have interest in. So things to avoid when choosing a niche is that you're going to start with that niche forever, that you're also going to you're targeting multiple niche at once, which is not a good idea. And when it comes now to align yourself with an established platform, this is to, once you recognize what are the niche you want to dig in, then align yourself with a particular platforms that allow you to quickly provide the value to the clients, and then you can specialize on that platform. So for example, in the context of marketing, we have is the marketing, and then once we go down to into the funnel, digital marketing, or digital advertise, and go down the funnel, you have pay per click until you reach to the Google platform. Okay. Again, this is just one example. And in the case of the accounting, you have accounting, and then you go down to the funnel to reach to personal finance or uh, enterprise finance, until you reach to the platform of QuickBook. All right. So again, this is important to align yourself with a platform for that, because from there is that where you can get the most from it. Then, so once you know what a niche is, and then you align yourself with an established platform, then it is time to know how to create an offer and understand that the client is ultimately paying is for the value you provide, not how many hours you put in. This is one. And from that, uh, remember that this offer, the offer you create, it must have something that is short. Okay, so use a value statement for that that clearly define what are you offering. So in my case, is I improve. So the TLDR is that I help small and mid business to yeah, I help small to mid business to improve their web application performance using Knox 3 and Vue 3 technology. Okay, that's my value statement. Okay, and with that, okay, so now that I identify my own value statement, it's like I help small to mid business to improve the web application performance using Knox 3 and Vue 3. Okay, so once I know that my value offer right now as a consultant, then it is time to also understand is the scope of the work. So once you define is your value statement, is define clear deliverables, which is something great thanks to the software engineer because it follow a agile principles or this way of this software development practice. So I can apply whether it's Kanban or Scrum, which is an agile framework. So clear uh, deliver and write clear deliverables. Okay, clear written deliverables. Be huge in communications, and don't forget to ask how success is going to be measured. So okay, then if you want to have success with this, usually a great offer is not only one single offer, it's a value ladder of offering. Then I look at these guidelines that help me to, for example, identify at which state or which state of the ladder I am with the client. Okay, so at the beginning you can offering is a free consultation for free and things like that. Okay, and then once you go up the value ladder, or once you evaluate that the client and you are the one who can provide the clients and the client value, things like that. So with that, then you can uh, push the client up the value ladder and tell them, okay, so outline is the roadmap that you're going to follow, and this will help you to put some money in your pockets. Let's say you're going to charge for that project. The roadmap is 400. Okay, the project overview. Uh, and then, if the client agreed with that roadmap, then you can push up the client up the value ladder. So ultimately, well, now you have is uh, let's say a 10-hour package where here you can start to implement the solutions for that. So that's great. That's great. Because with that, then once you deliver it is the roadmap, the ultimate goal of the consulting and for any business, right, is to have recurring revenue, recurring clients. That's the holy grail of any business. And most consultants are having tremendous success because they have this recurring client that they paying for that, right? So what you can do here, okay, is the following. So okay. So what you can do here is the following. So once you establish this value ladder, and then the service agreement, which is something very, very important because it helps you to look much more professional when you're going to offer your service. Here you want to outline things like project timeline, project overview, scope of the work, terms and terminations, compensations, and agreement. Okay. Then I look at the next model. Okay, so once you know the fundamentals and you identify your strengths and weakness, so you know and you align yourself with a particular niche as well as a platform on that niche, and then you create your offer so you can use the value ladder when you're going to when you want to make this multiple offering to your clients, and to make you look more professional, use a service agreement. Okay, now it's time to know where to find and land high paying consulting clients. So here it's important to recognize that some mistake to avoid, especially like you're pay running ads. You're focusing too much in your portfolio, because the whole idea at the beginning is to start to gain some tractions. So start to reach some clients, start to providing value, start to solve their problems. Do that organically, and then is when you can build your portfolio. And another mistake to avoid is not focusing on your skill. That's another mistake to avoid. So okay, cool. Because then place where you can find these high paying consulting clients are on Upwork or your existing network. Okay, perhaps like contacting past colleagues. And this is very contextual, I must say, because depending of your country, this might help you or not. And thanks for the internet, now we have access to a lot of mentors out there, and or people that or past colleagues that migrate to other areas, where now we can have contact with them and ultimately is offering our service. So that's one way to do that. And the other is employment side. This doesn't align 100% to consulting freelancing. However, it can gain you some traction, so it can help you to also put your foot in front of Jesus. It can help you to put your foot in front of the door. The whole point of this is to gain some traction as you move down the line in your consulting career. So some consultation tips are: remember that this is a numbers game, and think always is what you have done today. So what I'm doing today, and am I putting myself in best possible position to move forward? Which is what I'm doing here is kind of that, is I'm learning about this content from this course, as well as from Node.js and Vue and Nox, and also improving in other areas like the finance aspect. So the whole point of this is to answer that question, like what I'm doing today, and am I putting myself in the best possible position to move forward? Frankly, I'm doing that. in recording here and make it public. So make this learning public is something important as well, because now people can see what you're doing and decide if they want to work with you. Okay. Now, another consulting tips here is show your face, because the whole point of this is to let the client and separate yourself from your digital avatar from the real you. So when it comes to consulting sell tips, okay, it's important to be an active listener. So hear what the client say. Perhaps the client is not telling you the truth. Read the body language, because the more you can do that, the more you will get data from that, and then you can ask questions based on that. The other is use speed. So once you get a contact with you, so use speeds to contact the client. Then use the solution selling process. Here again, this is consulting sell tips. Okay, the solution selling process is like following a particular guidelines from the solution selling process, which was created by Frank Watts, or it was developed by Frank Watts in 1985. I recall that great, at One Laboratories, once one of the largest computer manufacturer in the world. So Frank then worked on IBM and Xerox, and he developed that solution selling process. This solution selling process works on things, or works when the clients need a tailored custom solutions. And just to mention what Alex Hormozi mentioned, or a quote of Alex Hormozi, is that one of the problems that most of this digital business is that they are not able to scale. And the more customer tailored solution you offer, the less likely is to you for growth. So that doesn't mean that you can offer that, okay? But again, it's something that you would like to have in consideration, okay? So the more tailored a custom solution is, the less likely is to scale that to other clients. So with that, okay, with that, no, sorry. So with this solution selling process, okay, and knowing that, okay, it is trade-off of this solution selling process, that the whole point of this is to identify the challenge or opportunities that a particular client have, and then offer the right solution for them. So there is a process that you can follow here. So especially it's like, well, you do the journey, the prospect journey. This is when you're starting to identify your potential clients, start to reach out to them, start to get in front of them to get their attention, that kind of thing. And then you qualify them, which is the second step. Then you qualify them, and this is just once you reach to the end, this is to do even more fact findings about if you are the person that can solve their issue. Can we work together? Once that is done, and if the client and if you both know that you are the person that you can solve their problems, okay, then you can see here is the next step, a video or cell call, and this is to do even more fact findings. So to see if you are the right guy for that, or if it's going to end right there, so I can move on to the next project. If both parties agree, great. Now it is time to add value and send a proposal. So this is where you use as a consulting all of your expertise and suggestions to compile your offer. And this is also another important thing, is to the client at the beginning will have a lot of objections, right? And so you must tackle all of them. And most of the time it boils down is to time, value, or money, right? So money, time, or value. So if the client is not sure about your value, you can show your portfolio. If the client, however, is not sure about the budget, well, you can renegotiate that. So once you find and land your high-paying consulting client, okay, that it will so that it will allow you to that it will allow so you can both move to the next step. Okay, so here is once you reach to some sort of agreement with the client. Okay, so you send the proposal and then the client say, okay, great, so send me more information about it, and then you tackle all of the objections that might arise. Now it is time is to let me see if I can recall that, is to handle client payments, is to know how to handle client payments. Okay, and this is very important because as a consultant, and this is something that most freelancers actually fail to do that. So secure the payment, meaning is first get the service agreement signed as one, and ultimately send or secure the payments before starting to offering your service. Okay, so all right. So with that, also, so once you secure the payment and how to handle the client payment, okay, it's important to send invoice to your clients, whether it's from online platforms like Freelancer, Upwork, that automatically do that for you, or using Sahbooks, PayPal, and the another software, the another accounting software, which is Booking. It is QuickBook. Okay, QuickBook. All right. And ultimately, so once you know on this section, okay, so once you know the fundamentals of how to get started building a consulting career, and then actually getting started as a consulting career, or getting started as a freelancer consultant, which is, well, identify your strength and weakness, your niche, your platforms, ultimately the value statement that you're going to offering, and then a service agreement, So once you now look at place to find and land high-paying consulting clients, which is online freelancer platforms like uh, Paper Hours or like Paper Hours or Upwork, Freelancer, whether it's your existing network or employment sites, and also identify what are the things that are important as a consultant, okay, which is show your face, and don't forget that this is a numbers game. Some consultation tips that will help you to land more additional fan to that help you to find and land more high-paying consulting clients. Okay, like be an active listener, use speed, use solution selling process, as well as the add free value. So don't forget also to, once you tackle all of objections and you send the proposal to the client, is to secure the payment. Meaning is first send the proposal, secure the payment, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, or uh, or in days when you're going to send and then you're going to provide your service. So once you do all of that, and then you know how to send invoice, whether it's an online platform or invoice tools, right? So once you know how to find line high-pay consulting clients, you know how to send proposals, you start to you know how to send proposal, you secure the payments, and then you know how to you gain some tractions when developing your products, or in this case your service. You gain some traction on that. Remember, the ultimate goal of this is to scale your business, okay, so to provide that for multiple clients. And well, using CRM for that will help you to do this. CRM like HubSpot, for example. Yeah, like HubSpot, for example, here. Communication tips for consulting. Learn the client's communication. So once I look at that, okay, and I make that huge overview, now it is time to look at how to conduct a proper research and gather quality data. And this here is okay. Now we're gonna see what are the tasks that a consulting does. Okay, conducting a research and then gather quality data, analyze analyze your data, and then present the results. So here in this section 4 is what we're gonna do. Is where we're gonna see what are the tasks that a consulting specifically does. Okay, so on this section 4 on how to conduct a proper research and gather quality data, it's important to recognize that data is something powerful because it can help you to influence, persuade, inform, but also can be misleading. And especially when you're conducting a consulting uh, or especially when you're conducting a research for a consulting project, it is important to know where the source of this data are coming from, such as first-party data, data that comes from the company, which is the most valuable because usually you have to sign some NDA agreement, and once you do that, then you can see what this company has done in the past, see how they have been performing, and from there uh, provide your suggestions and recommendations. Okay, the other, right? The other is the yeah, the other is mhm, okay. Mhm. So the other, okay. Uh, so the other here is the secondary data, okay, which is coming from trust source, yeah, which comes from trust source, source that has a great record of research report, peer review, and ultimately the aggregate sources. These are kind of sources that where you cannot know who the author really is. It's important, especially when you're conducting a research in new markets, uh, and include that in your report will with that footnote. Okay, then is where I look at what are the guidelines that, especially when you're conducting a research, Paul Mendes, the Zero to Mastery structure, follows, which is see things from different perspectives, meaning play devil advocate with yourself. Okay, see things from different perspectives, research and gather quality data or relevant data here. So gather relevant data. Don't forget to take notes and keep record of every source you obtain. Qualify the data that you're obtaining, and ultimately, don't forget to circle back with the client for get some feedback. So then I look at how can I do for especially in a tourist website. Okay, meaning okay, meaning here on a tourist website, where it is on a tourist website like this, on this tourist website. So yeah, so this is some guidelines that Paul Mendes actually mentioned, especially when he conducted this research for this tourist website. And that is, first look at the genetics. So what are the products? So understanding what they offering, so all the products and service. Okay, and then go into the specific about what makes this company unique, the company review, all the products and categories. Uh, if you can have access to the first party data, that's great because from that you can now see what this company has done in the past, how they have been performing, and from there you can provide your solution. Okay, so once you do the research based on um, their personal brands, their websites, all their products and servers, what they offer, their pricings, now it is time to do a competitor analysis to know who the other players in that industry are. Okay, and that is, well, uh, see what they're doing, see what you can learn from them. Also use some keyword or get to make a keyword research that you're going to use later on in some keyword research tool out there on the internet, whether it is from Google or any other provider. This is to get an idea of what's going on in that industry, and from there, once you get that, on top of that keyword research, you're gonna get up-to-date data, to get data from the real world, to see how everything that you have researched, what is most likely to work today. And that is by looking at the regulations, how this industry is adapting to regulations, and where this industry is going. So I make my own research, right? Especially on the e-commerce. I would like to know what an e-commerce is. So according to Amazon, this is a trade of good and service on the internet. So it is your bustling city center or your brick and mortar shop converts into zeros and ones on the internet superhighway. So Shopify mentioned that while e-business refers to operating all aspects of an online business, such as marketing, where it conducted research, so the marketing focus on market research, conducting a market research, developing marketing strategies, create ads campaigns, as well as managing social networks, sales, which it identify potential sale leads and customers, do video or sales calls, negotiate contract, and ultimately close deals. Then I look, you also have the financial department, where now this is the financing or accounting department. It record every financial transactions. It register and create financial reports. It keep track of taxes, among other things, as well as the human research to recruiting new talents, administrating salary, recruiting new talents, administering salaries and benefits, training their employees, as well as solve conflict among employees. The operations, which is now focused on developing a new production process or improving the existing ones, set quality standards, among other things. The IT sector, so they are responsible to create network computers, develop and implement software, develop and implement software, providing technical support, and ensure data security, where then we have the customer's service. So here So they addressing inquiries, handling complaints and refunds, provide technical support to users, as well as analyze and check the customer satisfactions. And ultimately the R&D, which is, so they're responsible for creating new prototypes, developing, creating new prototypes. Mhm. Creating new prototypes, developing new strategies, creating new prototypes, developing new strategies, uh, uh, creating new prototypes, uh, or improving existing ones, developing patterns, that kind of thing. So these are the most common business operations: marketing, sales, financial, or the accounting sector, the accounting, R&D, operations, IT, customer service, and R&D, research and development. So e-commerce refers specifically to the transaction of good and service on the internet. And from there, okay, then I would like to know all the different types of e-commerce that exist. So you have is the most common ones are business to consumers, okay, such as online retailers, subscription service, ordering food and delivery, digital marketplace, uh, as well as online traveling and booking. Okay. For the business to business, we have the online marketplace like Amazon e-business, Alibaba, eBay Business, EDI, which is very specific to business, which is a system that allows to easily exchange documents such as invoice uh, or purchase order that were traditionally made on paper, but now it is done electronically. Okay. Online portals. So when very large business wants to set up online portal to streamline their supply chain, so they set these online portals for example, with Walmart Supplier Center or SAP Arriva Network. Okay, the wholesale e-commerce, okay, like Grainger or Uline on the US, business to business payment solutions, PayPal, Stripe. When it comes to the consumer to business, freelance work, user generated content, crowdfunding, online survey like SurveyMonkey, reverse auction like price name your price or price line. So price line allows you to do this. So it's now consumers that submit a quota to a product. So consumers now submit a price quota to a product that this business are offering, right? Then I look at the government to business, where here you have public procurement portals like the FBO in the US or the UK contract finding and service, as well as tax filing and payment system, the electronic federal tax payment system on the US, or the HK, the the HK custom and revenue, the HK revenue and custom, the HM revenue and custom, okay, which is responsible is like the IRS on the US, but on the UK, the HM revenue and custom. Okay. Okay. That's right. So tax filing and payment systems, online permits and application, such as building permits or food license, custom clearance and international trades. For example, electronic custom clearance or export declaration. So government offer is online service to business for international trade, as well as business registration. So for example, the SBA on the US, the Small Business Administrations, or the UK Company House. The UK Companies House. Okay. And then I look at the relationship now with the consumers to government, okay, or the government to consumers, such as passport applications, vehicle and driving licensing, tax portals, utility bills, ordering a birth and death certificate, which is very, very interesting here. Now, on the US, you have is the National Center for Health Statistics, the NCHS, okay, the National Center for Health Statistics, and in the UK you have is the UK the UK interesting. ordering birth. I misspelled that. The General Register Office, exactly. The General Register Office. Okay. The General Register Office. Oh no. Oh, what I've done. No. Come on, man. Okay. Where is the keyboard? Where's the mouse, man? I don't see the mouse. Interesting. I don't see the mouse. Okay. Okay, that's not nice. I'm not able to see the mouse. Okay. Interesting. What? Okay, some render issue here. Some rendering issue. Oh. So okay, all of these are example of different type of e-commerce. Okay, different types of e-commerce. So I will leave this video like that, and on the next video I'm going to elaborate and explain that more about the section 4 on the how to become a business consulting freelancer. So with that, that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.